EOIN MCELHOLM, Dalata Hotel Group Under 20 Footballer of the Year. How does that sound?
It sounds unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was just saying wasn't expecting this, and from the start of the year, this is what I expected it to be having. But now I'm absolutely over the moon. It's just something I really wanted, and I'm just glad I got picked.
Yeah, and I suppose like from a Tyrone perspective, obviously you wouldn't be sitting there without your teammates. That's the way these things go. But to pick up back-to-back Ulster titles, back-to-back All-Ireland titles, and now this just to top it off, like it's been an incredible year for yourself and your county.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable under-20 campaign for myself, but it just, as you say, it wouldn't happen without the players. I was just so fortunate to be a part of two unbelievable teams and unbelievable management teams, and the hard work that we put in over the past 2 years just really paid off. It's now winning back-to-back sounds sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose I've mentioned there the accomplishments you've had this year, but what's your personal highlight? Obviously a big goal in the semi-final against Kerry that was in the end proved pivotal, but I suppose there's been loads of highs for you this year at underage level, even the minors picking up the Ulster. I know you're not part of that team, but I suppose it all kind of feeds into it.
Yeah.
So what would be your personal highlight for the year?
Probably getting over the Donegal game in Owen Beg that day. It was a game we targeted because they beat us by maybe 7 or 8 points in the group stages, so we really targeted that game and thought we're going to have to be on our A game if we want to get through it. And just getting over that in extra time was probably the sweetest win of the 2 years, because it was just how hard it was and how intense and how it came down the end of the wire. So that was probably the highlight of the year for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I suppose at senior level, the Ulster Championship is probably the one of the 4 provincial championships that's kind of held that level of competitiveness and kind of felt like championship football the whole way through. Obviously with Munster and Kerry dominating at senior level, and Dublin in Leinster, and then Galway to a certain degree over in Connacht. I suppose is it the same at underage level? Like is it as kind of, you can see how much it means to Armagh when they come up short and Donegal when they win? Like is it the same at underage level?
Yeah, 100%. We've been fortunate to win the last 2 Ulsters, but for example, I went to penalties last year against Derry. This year Derry came right down the wire. Donegal, we beat Donegal in extra time this year, and even last year in the semi-final, Monaghan, we only beat them by a point. So we know if we can get through Ulster, that's nearly the hard work done, and now we can go express ourselves and show the rest of Ireland what we can do. But it's just getting through Ulster, and it's a competitiveness, and that might just be from playing against each other growing up, and we know each other a lot more. And it's just getting out Ulster definitely
absolutely
hard.
Yeah. And you mentioned there about playing against these lads growing up, but obviously with your own Tyrone team, like you play together from such a young age, like and to a certain degree the under-20 championship is sort of seen as a stepping stone for lads to kind of pave their way and make a name for themselves and get into the senior panels. But there's a lot of lads that you would have played with this year and from all around the country that I suppose like this would be the pinnacle of what they achieve. Like, you know, some lads won't go on to play senior inter-county football for whatever reason. They might not want to, or they just might not be good enough. But I think sometimes it goes amiss, like how much it's valued to actually just win an under-20 championship. Like it's not just a stepping stone. We've seen lads like Rory Canvan, Liam Gray, lads make the step up, but there's more to it than just it being a platform to kind of make a name for yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly. There's even from last year's team, there's only 4 players that broke through into the senior panel, and it just shows it's winning the under-20 All-Ireland is what I think is unbelievable, and memories that'll last a lifetime. And obviously it is a stepping stone into going into seniors, but I just feel like winning the under-20 and experiencing that's a massive thing too, because everybody a part of them 2 teams will remember that for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely, that's it. Yeah, and I'm sure the celebrations weren't too bad after winning both the Ulster and the All-Ireland.
Yeah, they're good crack now, good fun.
And then just on a personal note, then obviously you racked up a score of 624 this year across the competition, and you built on that from last year. 518 last year wasn't bad going, like especially under what we now know as the new rules. But I suppose just on the new rules, how have you found it as a forward? Like I suppose you've seen a lot of kind of the older players, lads coming towards the end of their career saying that they were going to pack it in and said, we give this a go, and now they've found a new lease of life. Like, so I'm wondering from a lad who's kind of coming up through, like how have you found it so far?
Yeah, I found it very good. I felt like something had to change, because games were just being too slow and forwards weren't really getting to express themselves. But now I just feel that it's a forward's dream, really, these new rules. There's one-on-ones all over the pitch and absolutely, a lot more space, and it's even a defender's dream too. They get to one-on-ones around the defence, they get to break out and attack too. But no, I feel like we're really we really developed in the rules well, our under-20 team, and played good stuff under them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned there, like, actually something I just had noted down here was like watching underage football the last couple of years. It had sort of crept into that stage where lads weren't being able to express themselves because it had become so tactical, not defensive, but just tactical, that it was kind of, we do this and then we do this and then we do this, and lads weren't able to say, right, I'm going to take my man on here. And you mentioned it there, like, it just seems as though it is a free scoring forward's dream, like, just to be able to take his man on.
Yeah, definitely. Like, maybe over the past few years there's been forwards in there who've been behind a 15-man blanket defence and not being able to show themselves to make the next step into senior football. So I think it really has made the game more free flowing and enjoyable to watch, and more enjoyable to play, obviously.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And I suppose as well, like, you found yourself this time last year, you were in and around the senior panel. You've made even more so now this year, like, you've been coming on in a lot of games. How have you found, I suppose, a double-edged kind of question, the transition to some degree, and also just being able to balance kind of prioritising your under-20 championship, which is your age level, and then still being able to, or wanting to, make an impression on the senior team as well?
Yeah, it worked well just with both sets of managers, Paul Levin and Malachi O'Rourke. They definitely communicated well, and if I was needed one night at the seniors, I'd be there. But my main priority was under-20s, obviously, and I was there the majority of the time. But now I've filtered back into the seniors, and it's full focus now because of a free run at it, and hopefully I can really push on them. And there's still a lot of learning to do, and with breaking into the team and just experiencing intense championship games. So hopefully I can learn that over the next few years.
It does seem like there's an awful lot of joined up thinking in Tyrone around that, with the managers constantly in communication, and they're no kind of he's mine, you know, it's all for the benefit of the county, really.
Yeah.
And I suppose would that be something that, like, it's hard to ignore the success that Tyrone have had underage over the last couple of years, both minor and under-20. Like, I suppose is that something that you'd feed into, like, that kind of sense of we're all in this together?
Definitely, that sense of we're all in this together would definitely helps. Like, just for example, with me, the seniors, Malachi was more than happy me playing my own age group and enjoying that, because he says this won't come along anymore. Like, this is your last year, so go and enjoy it and give it a shot. And then if I'm needed with the seniors one night, I'll be in there. But no, it worked really well, and it's just that whole everyone together definitely pushes on the whole county.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's clear to see. Like, another one as well I just kind of wanted to touch on, which was like schools football in Tyrone, the McCrory Cup in Ulster. Like, it seems as though that level of football in Ulster is taken incredibly seriously, and they do it obviously is paying fruition. Like, the Ulster Football Championship, as we've mentioned, is so competitive. I believe you won a McCrory Cup yourself. I think your dad managed one of the schools to win one as well. So I suppose if you could you're in a good position to tell me about it. So if you could just talk to me about that, like, in the McCrory Cup up in Ulster.
Yeah, the McCrory Cup was unbelievable when we played in it. I played in it in 6th year, and actually my dad's school beat us in the semi-final.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, they beat us.
That was fun.
They beat us by a point. It was good crack in the house that week. But in 7th year we went on to win it, actually, and it was a lot of the boys actually played in under-20 team with Callum Daly, Rory McCullough, Owen Donaghy, Conor McInerney, them boys. So it was unbelievable, and just the competitiveness in McCrory football. Like, there's no easy games. It's unbelievable, and see winning that was very special too.
Absolutely, I'd well believe it. Just there, you mentioned actually as well just about the you'd won the Ulster title on penalties last year, I believe. It's just funny because it's come up a lot, been talking to town really with the hurling at the weekend about penalties deciding games. You kind of just get your thoughts on it after being involved in it last year. Like, do you feel as though a replay is a better way to do things, or do you like get it done on the day? There's obviously a double-edged sword. Like,
yeah, well, coming out in the winning end of it that day in athletic grounds, obviously you're gonna before penalties because it was unreal to win. But our club, Loch McCrory, actually got beat by Trillick in penalties, and I missed the penalty to put us out. So with that feeling, you're just, you don't want to experience that feeling again, obviously. So it's two ways. I probably think a replay is the better way, especially if it's a big championship game and you're getting beaten in penalties. It's not a good way to take it, but obviously if you win in penalties, you're not going to be complaining.
That's what they say. It's the cliche. It's the best way to win a game, the worst way to lose a game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that about yourself. I didn't actually know that you'd miss the penalty yourself, but it's funny with Tommy Walsh, Kilkenny, heard around with us during the week there, and he was saying the only reason, his pure reason for being against penalties was that it's different when it's in soccer and it's a professional level, and these lads are off, they're kind of segregated from the rest of society, like, they're not mixing with the people. But if you're missing a penalty for your club, you have to go down to the shop the next day, and X, Y and Z's working in the shop. It's obviously tough from a mental point of view to deal with, like. Yeah,
that definitely was at the time, and it's just first week was hard getting over it, but now every time I had a penalty since, I'm hearing that from my friends. So it's just something I don't want to experience again.
Absolutely. And then I suppose just to go back on the new rules there, it's something that's been talked about an awful lot, but as I mentioned earlier, it's not something really that we've heard a lot of lads at under 20 level kind of talking about. I'm not sure, would you have played? I remember there was a stage there when the new rules were first coming in that there was lads playing college football under the old rules while training with the new rules. But I suppose that's just the adaptation period when you're kind of, last year you would have been in with the Tyrone seniors a little bit under the old rules. And have you seen a massive change in the way you're approaching training even under the new rules?
Yeah, definitely. It's just having to adapt to what drills are going to suit the new rules, and just even the matches and different scenario based games, they're all going to be based on the new rules. But you were just saying there about some players interlinking with old rules and new rules. With the Sigerson, we had to do that, so it was weird going from training with the Sigerson and old rules and it being a complete different session, and now going back to the Tyrone seniors and training with new rules. So it was weird to adapt that. But yeah, managers or trainers and managers are just adapting to what training sessions are going to suit new rules, and no, it's just, that's basically what it is, just about adapting to it and finding the best drills for the players.
Yeah. And then just another one kind of on that, when you're first making that step up into the senior panel, like, do you find the intensity is at a different level? Is it a massive step up?
Yeah, 100% is. It's a massive step up. It's just the intensity and the physicality and the pace. You don't have half as much time in the ball as you do with the under 20s, basically, I'd like to say. But no, it's just about getting in and adapting to it and just learning things off the players that who are experienced. They've been giving me a few tips on what to do and when to do it and stuff, so that's definitely helped.
Yeah, and Cavan this weekend.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah, it's a big one, but
yeah,
we just
the group looks great this week. Like it's all up for grabs, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's exciting for the viewers on Sunday. So no, I'm looking forward to it, and just hopefully we can put up a good performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give you one, just a bit of a light-hearted one at the end here. If you could make one more rule change, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you could have one more rule change in the game, what would you do? I've put you on the spot.
I'm happy enough. Just maybe the not handing the ball back, being penalised 50 metres. Because, for example, say if you throw it up and the referee moves it 50 metres and it's in the Ireland final and it costs you the Sam Maguire, there'll be a lot of controversy. So I just don't agree with handing it back. It nearly slows it down rather than throwing it, but just probably that. But no, happy enough for the rest.
There's certain games now you've watched the odd time. Cork and Kerry played there a few weeks ago, and it was very we were nearly just taking frees back and forth, So I think you're right. I think it's more just common sense with it, really.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
There's holding the ball and there's
throwing it back. So it's much and muchness.
So yeah, Eoin MCELHOLM, Dalata Hotel Group Under 20 Footballer of the Year. It's been a pleasure. Thanks a million.
Thank you.